Hi, welcome back for one final screencast for LSSL 5385, Young Adult Literature. I wanted to take some time in this screencast to talk to you about the Tk20 assignment for the class. This is an important assignment, as you know, I hope you know. The assignments that are placed in Tk20 are assignments that show our accrediting agencies that we are preparing school librarians who will meet the AASL standards, who will serve student populations well. And so we've carefully crafted these assignments to help you demonstrate that you have mastered the AASL standards. And in young adult literature, the Tk20 assignments include your reading autobiography, your social networking assignment, your annotated bibliography, and then the culminating assignment, the youth literature essay. The only piece of this assignment that goes into the Tk20 is the youth literature essay. Everything else goes only into Dropbox. But at the end of the semester, I'm asking you to put the youth literature essay into not only Dropbox but Tk20. So I want to take some time to go over the assignment with you, even though it's kind of spelled out here, just to make sure that you understand what's going on. Failure to turn in the Tk20 assignment to Tk20 results in the loss of one letter grade for your final grade for my class. It is incredibly important that you follow directions, that you meet the deadlines, that this assignment gets turned not only into Dropbox where I'll grade it, but into Tk20 where it will stay as evidence that we have met the standards set by AASL. So, what is the assignment? The assignment is an essay. We've given you a range of words simply because people will ask about how long does it have to be. This is a fairly lengthy essay, 1,500 to 2,000 words. And it's broken into 3 segments in terms of your knowledge of literature of youth. So, first segment, that would be point number 1, right here. Demonstrate your awareness of the wide range of literature in the different formats that are out there available for children, tweens, and teens. And you're going to do that by, first of all, critiquing 2 articles of your choice about the reading habits, interests, and preferences of children, tweens, and teens. So you're going to locate 2 articles. They must be from professional journals, must have been published within the past 5 years, preferably within the last 2 years. You may not use columns, editorials, reviews, letters to the editor. They must be articles. You'll have to provide APA citation for the 2 articles, and you'll have to give us a critique. In other words, summarize the article and then talk about why it is an important article in terms of knowing about reading habits, reading interest, preferences of what children, tweens, and teens like to read. Now, I know this is a young adult literature class, but do notice here that we're including children and tweens in terms of the topics that you can look at here. Now, professional journals, you may ask yourself, what is that? Well, from a school library perspective, that would include things like Book List, Horn Books, School Library Journal, and Library Journal. But you could also be looking at the professional journals, especially in the field of literacy. So English Journal, Voices from the Middle, Reading Teacher, Reading Today, the Journal of Adolescent and Adult Literacy, and there are probably a handful of others. If you have a question about whether or not this is a professional journal, then you can certainly holler at me via email, leave me a voicemail, doesn't matter, I'll be happy to answer that question. So you're going to locate 2 articles and critique them. You're also, for this part of the assignment, going to go to a bookstore and talk about what it was that you saw there. What are bookstores offering for kids, tweens, and teens? Notice, be certain to take some photos from that visit. Now, I will tell you that sometimes when you take photos in bookstores, it makes them nervous, so just click them with your cell phone. This doesn't have to be any big, hairy deal here, but having some pictures so that when you say, gee, there was just a big display of paranormal romances in the teen section, take a quick click picture of that. Or look, here in the end cap in the adult section were books that were really young adult books, but they're marketing them to older readers. Take a quick snap there in order to place that within your essay. That is part one of the essay. And since your essay is 1,500 to 2,000 words, you're looking at about 500 to 600 words right there for your critique of a couple of articles and your description of going to a bookstore. Second part, describe strategies that you could use to promote leisure reading. These strategies should be targeted for teens in this particular case, but notice that they could also be used for pre-K through 5th grade students. You're going to describe the activities and attach evidence. Photographs always work well here, websites, video clips, podcasts of at least 2 strategies you've used. And they could include any of the following. These are just some, and you can certainly come up with others, but these are the ones we think you'd most likely become involved with. An author or illustrator school visit, book displays that you create in the library, book trailers that you do or that you do with kids, book talks that you deliver, a book fair that you help to organize and run, literacy night, PowerPoint loops, read aloud, shelf talkers, video book talks, voice threads, and notice that wonderful other. We're trying to leave this as wide open as we can, and in the second section of 500 to 600 words, you're going to talk about 2 of these strategies that you've actually used, and you're going to provide some evidence. This piece of the essay, by the way, is going to stand you in really good stead when it comes time to do your portfolio. You're going to already kind of have some idea about what it is to talk about. Here's what's important, and here's evidence of the fact that I can do it. Now, if you are not working with teens, if you are an elementary teacher or you're working in an elementary library, you're going to have to seek out in another school or in a public library a group of teens and work with them. You could ask to book talk to a couple different classes that have teens. You could show them some book trailers that you've created. You could volunteer to help at a book fair that's being done in the high school. You do need to work with teens for this particular portion of the assignment. So know that and kind of plan ahead. And finally, the last third of this essay, so 500 to 600 words, is going to be a reflection on intellectual freedom and censorship. And we've given you a scenario to address here rather than just kind of saying write anything. In this case, you've been asked to come and give book talks to a high school class of juniors and seniors, so upperclassmen, for Banned Books Week. You've been asked not only to talk about books, but really to talk about why books are challenged and why they're banned. So from the list of required books for this class, select one book that would be appropriate for those high school kids and that has been banned or challenged, or that you think has the potential for being banned or challenged, and discuss why this book would be controversial, and then also discuss why this book would be appropriate for this age group of readers. This is just simply really making sure that in your mind you know how to talk about a book and defend a book, provide a rationale for a book that, while it may be controversial, is still one that is developmentally appropriate for kids. So this essay has 3 major components. Each one should be 500 to 600, maybe 700 words each. In some portions, you're asked to attach evidence, which you should just embed or in some way or another give a link at some point. And this essay, once you are done with it, is to go into Dropbox by the requested date, and the due dates are here at LiveBinder and also at your Blackboard website. And this is to be placed into Tk20. It's really essential that you pay attention to deadlines, that you get this done, and that you do your best work possible. I hope this answers your questions for this particular assignment, and as always, if it doesn't, please feel free to call me. Please email me. Please let me know what questions you have. Okay, I think I've given you guys enough to think about and enough to get started, and we'll just kind of have to wait and see if any questions are left at the end. So good luck. Hope to hear from all of you. Bye-bye.